Hello, 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 everybody. How are you? How are you? How are you? This is Shalina Diva, the purpose driven diva, and I am so excited to go live tonight, you guys. I haven't gone live in I'm gonna say maybe 3 weeks, almost a month. It's because I was pregnant and I my body was just super, super, super tired. And so I'm actually on maternity leave, but I wanted to go live tonight because I wanted to share a little bit of my birthing story. Yesterday, I posted a picture of me. If you followed me for a while, you know I love to dance and I go into Walmart, I go into the Dollar Tree, different stores, and I will stop, dance down the aisles, twirl, and everything else. That's just what I do. And so yesterday I was at Five Below my husband, and now that my pregnancy is over, and I'm going to go into a little more details, I was able to get some snacks. And I was just so happy to get these snacks. They had some good music playing, and my feet just started moving. And I said, honey, listen, strike up, record me with the camera because I feel like dancing. I'm happy. And so I just let my body move naturally the way that it should. And I did a kick and I did a spin and it was so funny. And I just posted it and people were like, how are you able to do that? Didn't you just have a baby like a week ago? Literally, I had my son in a couple of minutes, in 8 minutes. 1 week from 1 week ago, in 8 minutes, I had my son via C-section. And yeah, and so yesterday and even the day before that, I was like, I'm up and about, walking, doing a lot of things that people are like, how are you able to do these things? Right. So I just wanted to say hello. Yes, Natasha, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the new baby. So people are like, how are you able to do all these things? And so what I wanted to do before time just got away from me is I just wanted to share my birthing story with you and share that I had a painless C-section. Yes, you heard right. I had a painless C-section, and I hear my snapback is kind of impressive. It's all natural, and so I just want to share some of these things. All right, so here we go. Last Thursday, I went to see my OB, so it was a regular, a routine. I was 37 weeks. So I'm getting closer and closer. I had a scheduled C-section for May 26th. It was a scheduled C-section. The reason being is because my first son, he's 12 and a half now. I had an emergency C-section with him. And then like with me now, I'm 42. So, I'm up in age. They tell me I'm old, for babies, right? But that's not true. So they were just like, if I had better chances of delivering via C-section this time versus, pushing the baby out vaginally. And so they do some type of calculations. And in the calculations, mine was like 24% of a successful vaginal birth. So that means if I were to try to push my baby out, it would probably be complications. So they're like, think about it, but the C-section would probably be safer for you and the baby. So I've known this for months. So I was going to have a scheduled C-section on May the 26th. I see my OB last Thursday, which was May 13th. And when at this point, y'all, like I felt good spiritually, I was happy, but my body was in a lot, like I was just very uncomfortable. And like I said, I wasn't going live. I slowed down meeting with my clients. I was wrapping things up because I was preparing, for birth. But like last week, my butt started to hurt. Okay. My tailbone, my butt, like on the day of the 13th, my right butt cheek. I tell you, my right butt cheek felt like it was about to fall off. I told my best friend Aisha, I was like, Aisha, girl, I ain't gonna make it. She's like, what's up with you? I was like, I'm like my body. Every week it was a new body part that was like going down the tubes, right? So I went to the OB and I said, I don't think I'm gonna make it to the 26th. She said, you can do it, you can do it. Thank you to everyone who is saying hello and congratulating me on the baby. So I'm like, look, I don't think I'm gonna make it until 26. She was like, yeah, you never know what your body can do. So I left. I was going to go home and run all these errands, but my body was like, you're really tired. Just go home, eat something, and lay down. Like just do it, whatever. So I was like, all right. So I went home. My friend Ish texted me like, yo, what's up with you? I was like, Ish, I don't have much energy for anything else except clients. And I was wrapping up with my clients. I was like, if it's an errand, I must run. But other than that, I'm sleeping. Like my body. So I ate a little bit and I laid down, I ate a little bit. and it was about 2 o'clock that I laid down. So about 2:30, this is when sleep started getting good, right? I don't know if that's beta sleep, gamma sleep, whatever it is, but when y'all know when sleep really starts getting good, right? I was like, oh yeah, this feels so good. Then the best way I can describe how my water breaks, because the second time my water broke, is imagine a small balloon that somebody filled with water, like a small water balloon. And at a certain point, somebody pops it, like pop, and then all the water inside starts to trickle out. That is the best way for me to describe water breaking. I know, like on Hollywood and different things like that, they make you think that when somebody water breaks is like a lot of gushing water. That may be true for women, but I know for me it was like a water balloon, like it filled up as much as it could, and then it just popped. And so when I was laying down, I felt my body like doing that is a certain feeling. I felt my body doing that, right? And then I felt the pop, like the pop. I said, oh no, my water broke. Because when your water breaks, you got to get to the hospital so they can evaluate. You might have to deliver, whatever. And I'm like, this would be the time. My husband's not home. He's across the city. Nobody else, like the people we would ask to take us to the hospital, nobody was available. Nobody. So I was trying to remain calm because up until then, I felt my son moving in my stomach. I didn't feel that. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't feel him moving. My water has broken. I go to the bathroom. You see a little bit of blood. I'm sharing this with you guys because it's part of the story. If it's gory or whatever, don't listen. But for those of you who are interested, you might be pregnant or whatever. These are the signs you look for. So I felt the water, and then it was like, go to the bathroom, it's a little bit of blood. I said, okay, this is the real deal here. This is real deal. So I called my husband, like, yo, my water broke. We got to get to the hospital. None of our friends, nobody was available. The good thing is I was not having contractions. My water broke, but I wasn't having like those painful contractions. So I wasn't having contractions or whatever. And I was like, I'm gonna drive myself. I drove myself to the hospital. The reason why I did is my husband's getting eye surgery, and his eyes, he can't he can't drive due to like a condition with his eyes. So I drive, and there was nobody to drive us where we needed to go, and I wanted to get there. I drove myself to the hospital after my water broke. And people were like, I can't believe you did it. But I'm like, how else would we have gotten there? Like, we were making plans to either for people to take us the day of the scheduled C-section, or we were hoping in the evening. But when people work, what you supposed to do? So we get to the hospital, and by the grace of God, no contractions, because contractions are no joke. So we get to the hospital, and I went to one of the best hospitals, Abington Memorial Hospitals, one of the best, hands down. So I went back to the hospital, and the lady was like, weren't you just here? I was like, yes. So we go in there. I had to go to labor and delivery. And the whole time I'm scared, y'all, because I'm like, this is the real deal. When I woke up on May 13th, I didn't think I was going to become somebody. I didn't think I was going to have a baby. So I was like, oh my God. I was like scared. So they checked me in. They're like, yeah, your water definitely broke. So they were like, you're going to have a scheduled C-section. They was like, when the last time you ate? And I thought back to my conversation with my girl Ish, and I was like, okay, 1:30. Anesthesiologist came in and said, all right, so 8 hours from then, we going to deliver this baby via C-section. I was like, today? They were like, yeah, today. I was like, I'm going to have a baby today. I couldn't wrap my mind around it. They was like, yes, it's going down at 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. I'm like, oh my God. So at this point, I contacted my prayer warriors, Cheyenne Rory, and I contacted Marilyn Port. I was like, yo, I'm in labor. They're going to do the C-section at 9:30 tonight. Marilyn was like, what time? Exactly the time. Cheyenne was like, exactly the time. They was like, yo, we going in a prayer at that time for you. We gonna fall on our faces for you. So I had my prayer team working, right? Then what I did was, it was certain women throughout my pregnancy who were always there for me, and they would check on me. And so I just contacted them. I formed a little a private Facebook chat, and I was like, y'all, I'm going into labor. Things are going down at this time. So I had like a virtual doula team. And it was so helpful because I was like scared, I was nervous, and all that other stuff, right? So what did my doula team consist of? Like, they prayed for me. They sent me affirmations. They sent me Elisa, she sent me a song, You Know My Name by Tasha Cobbs. And that song was so important to me because that's the song that we play as my stepmom transition when she passed from cancer. we played that song continuously when she was on her deathbed. And at her funeral, we played that song. So when Lisa sent it to me, it comforted me because I was scared. Like, I might listen when you doing labor and all that, y'all. It's no guarantee that when you leave you'll have a baby. Like, it's serious business. A C-section is major surgery. Like, don't get this stuff twisted. Stuff you see on TV, Instagram, all that. It's serious business, y'all. So I don't take any of that stuff for granted. And I didn't take for granted that when I left out of the hospital I was going to have a baby. Anything can happen, y'all. You can develop a sickness. Anything can happen to you. So I was like nervous. So I told my peeps. So it was just really beautiful. The people that rallied around me virtually, right? So now the reason why I have this background, because this is what it was like when they were triaging me. So I got there about like maybe 3:30. So for 6 hours, I'm in a room like this with my husband, and we're like, I'm in a room like this with my husband, and I'm just trying to stay sane. And like, I'm nervous, I'm scared. So I'm listening to praise and worship. And then they're asking me 50 million questions. They put me on an IV and all this stuff. And this was the big one. Now I am fully vaccinated, right, you guys? If at any point y'all have a question, just ask me. So I'm fully vaccinated. And I was told that because I'm fully vaccinated, I did not have to get the COVID test. However, there was some discrepancy, so I had to get the COVID test. So I get the COVID test. Oh my goodness, y'all. The COVID test is so awful. I don't care what anybody tells you. The COVID test is awful. And it's like, you ever go swimming and the chlorine gets up your nose, that sensation, but it's like someone is taking a what do you call it, a Q-tip or whatever the heck it was. It was awful. And they're scraping your brain. That mess was absolutely positively horrible. And I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't think I had to do it. So I had to take the COVID test. And when I did the COVID test, y'all, that just messed me all up even more because I couldn't smell, I couldn't really hear, and I really got even more and more afraid. I'm like, oh God, what if I have COVID, right? What's going to happen? I didn't know, whatever. But I had to do the COVID test. It was awful. It was awful, awful, awful. Don't let anyone tell you. So we I did the COVID test, and then they hooked me up. And so she was like, I literally was waiting for like 6 hours because remember I ate food at 1:30. So I'm like, oh my God, like I'm literally waiting for the thing. And as it got closer and closer to like 9:30 or whatever, right, y'all? I was just like, oh my goodness, it's getting closer and closer to 9:30. I was just getting more and more afraid because it was just too much. So 9:30 comes. And they're like, okay, Miss Broster, it's time for you to go into the OR. And I'm like, oh my God, oh my God. But before we head to the OR, um, they did something different. And this is why I say I had a painless C-section. They gave me when I say drugs, I just mean medicine, not any narcotics. I didn't have any narcotics. And like the oxycodone or whatever, they gave me medicine that would help to alleviate and lessen the pain before I got the surgery. That's a key point. This is why I'm saying mine was painless. And also remember, I had one before. I had a C-section before, so I know the difference. So what this hospital did is they said, we're proactive with pain, meaning we know you're going to be in a bunch of pain. So instead of us doing the surgery and just numbing you and then, you requesting pain meds, we're going to start you on pain meds, let it get into your system, and then we're going to keep you on this so that literally you don't experience pain. That is called proactive pain. That's what they call it. So I had already started like with the pain or, whatever, but still, y'all, you're still going to have contractions because my body was getting ready. My body didn't know if it was going to push this baby out or whatever. So we go to the OR and I'm looking for the wheelchair. Like, well, where's the wheelchair? Thank you guys. I'm like, okay, so, where's the wheelchair? They're like, oh no, Miss Broster, you're not, they said, you're not gonna get a wheelchair. We're not gonna roll. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna roll the bed in there and something. So, oh no, you're gonna walk to the OR. I was like, excuse me, what? I was like, I could barely stand up. So they had me hooked up to the IV, right? My husband's carrying my stuff. And they're like, no, 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 no. You're going to be hooked up to your IV. You're going to take your IV with you and we're going to walk you to the OR. I was like, oh my God. See, and this is someone, y'all, I watched too many movies, too many crime movies, just too many movies. I felt like a prisoner who was going to like execution or whatever. That long walk, it seemed like that hallway was so freaking long. So I'm walking, I'm doubled over in pain. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't know why they're doing this. But all the nurses who knew what was going on, it was like, congratulations. Oh my God, I'm so happy for you. And I'm like, shut up. Because it felt like a 5 pound, 10 pound bowling ball in the pit of my stomach. So now we're in the OR. So y'all, we're in the OR. All right. So this is the OR. The OR is this big room, bright lights. It probably would have been really amazing pictures taken in here, right? Really big, bright lights. And it is freezing. You know, only got on this little robe. I was freezing. I'm all hobbling in there. I'm like, I'm scared. I'm hobbling there, looking around, like, oh my God, like this is too much, right? So I'm in there and it's freezing. And they all getting all the instruments and all this stuff together. And let me move on over to the which way? Can I move on to y'all? Can y'all see? They're like getting me together and everything. And so it's like you're laying. You can't really see it, but like you move over. See, do you see that part? Your arm. So you're laying down and your arms all stretched out like you were about to be executed or whatever. So they're like, okay, Miss Brewster, sit down. So you know I needed a stool. So I sat down and I was like, excuse me. They were like, what's going on? I'm like, I gotta go to the bathroom. I was like, where's the bathroom? I gotta go. I was gonna lock myself in the bathroom. I was scared. They're like, oh no, Miss Brewster, we're gonna give you a catheter. I was like, oh, all right. Okay. So that ain't gonna work. Then I was like, but it's really cold in here. And so they turned it down because it was really cold. And so then the anesthesiologist comes in and he gave me a spinal tap and he had an assistant. And so they were like, you're gonna feel I won't be able to feel anything from and y'all, this is like what they said. I'm not being gory, but from your nipple on down, you will feel nothing. Nipple on down, you feel nothing. I was like, oh God, okay. And I'm thinking, like, Lord, please don't let him hit something wrong and I get like paralyzed or something. All these crazy thoughts are going through my head. So he gives me the spinal tap, y'all. It was really like just a toot toot, whatever. And so his assistant was really cool. He was like narrating the whole thing to me. He was like, okay, so now you're gonna lay down. I was like, yo, am I supposed to feel dreamy? Because I'm feeling really dreamy right now. He was like, well, because oh, you're awake. Did you know during a C-section, you're awake? As they cutting you open, oh, you're awake. So the anesthesia does not put you to sleep. I had general anesthesia. I think the other one is local. You're awake the whole time. Yes, you're awake the whole time. So I'm like, okay. Um, so I was like, I'm feeling dreamy, right? I was feeling kind of good, but I was feeling dreamy. So I'm laying down and all of a sudden my teeth started chattering, right? So those of you who are still rocking with me, if you find this story interesting, type interesting in the comments because I don't want to just be like grossing people out. But it was such a amazing story, I feel like, and I really want to share it. If you have a C-section coming up or something like that, these are things I want you to look for. So I'm like chattering, my teeth are chattering. I'm like free. I don't know if I'm freezing. I don't know if it was my body reacting or whatever. My arms are all stretched out. I'm like, oh my God, they're gonna kill me. They're gonna kill me in here, right? So my husband, thanks, Leah. So my husband is in it. That my husband come back because first I was like, where my husband at? Because they could do anything to me. Because remember, from the nipple on down, you cannot move. You don't feel anything. So I can't run away. So So they said, oh yeah, get dad. So my husband comes out. I felt better. Like, my husband here now. At least he ain't gonna let them like do nothing to me. So I'm laying there, and then the doctor was like, 3 minutes, and they all like, okay. And so they put the blue drape up, y'all. The blue drape, you know it's about to go down, okay? So they put the blue drape up, and the blue drape is like it's about to go down, basement, right? It's about to go down. So they put the blue drape up. And, so I can't see and my husband can't see what the doctors are doing on the other side of the drape. So that's basically how it's set up, right? They don't want you to see. I couldn't see nothing anyway, but my husband couldn't see, I couldn't see. And so they are doing their things. And so the anesthesiologist is assistant. He was like, Miss Broster, do you feel this? Like, he was like, Do you feel this? And it was like on my skin. I was like, yeah. He was like, do you feel that? They put something on my stomach. I said, no. They kept saying, do you feel this? I said, yeah. They put something on my stomach. Do you feel that? I'm like, no. They were like, great. The medicine is the anesthesia is working because you shouldn't feel anything. He was like, this is great because they just cut you with something sharp and you didn't even flinch, didn't even feel it. So we know the medicine is working. I'm like, oh my God. So my husband's holding my hand and that lady said 3 minutes. The Drake went up and they went to work and like you don't feel the sharp objects. You don't feel that, but you feel the sensations of somebody doing something to you. Does anybody follow that? You feel the sensation of somebody doing something to you. So I'm there in my mind. I watch too many crime stories and all that. And I'm laying out there and my mind is just going 50 million places. And I'm like, oh my God, this is how they killed the Black Dahlia. Like back in the day, they found this girl, they cut her up and drained her blood and then like threw her on the side of the road. I'm like, this is how they did the Black Dahlia because I can't feel nothing. They could be killing me and I can't feel it. And it was just, I mean, modern technology is amazing. So they're like, you can literally feel, like, you can like feel them like doing whatever they're doing behind it, but you don't feel any pain. And so it took them about 45 minutes with me. And she kept saying, oh my gosh, her abdominal muscles are so strong. I was like, for real? My abdominal muscles? Because I don't know where I can't see them. So they're like working on me. And then I'm like singing songs in my head. And like, it's like, I think it was like Kelly Rowland's song. She's like this song where she's like, I can't feel my legs. And I was like, honey, I really can't feel my legs or whatever. So I'm like, because for 45 minutes, you know, these people are cutting on you. Your mind is going. Then I'm thinking about funny stuff I saw on Facebook and Instagram. And I started giggling. And my husband's like, what's so funny? I want to laugh too. I was like, no, you're not watching Facebook or Instagram. She don't understand. But I'm like laughing and giggling. And then I'm like singing a song. I was all over the place, right? While they were doing this. And then the anesthesiologist assistant, he was like, all right, Miss Broster, you're going to feel a lot of pressure right now, okay? So I need you to take a deep breath. So I'm like, well, what kind of pressure are we talking here? Because it's like we 45 minutes in. I'm like, whatever. He was like, just take a deep breath for me. Practice taking a deep breath. And so they told him to lower me some. And so he said, take a deep breath. So I'm like, took a deep breath. Oh my God. It felt like a baby elephant just pounced on my chest, like boom. Like it took my breath away. I was like, oh my God. It's like, come on, Miss Rosie, you're doing good. You're doing good. It's like a few more times. And I was like, oh my God. So I'm like jerking back and forth, like, oh, I felt like a baby elephant. It didn't hurt, but it was like pressure. Like boom. I'm like, oh my God. Boom. Then it was like boom. And then it was after that fourth boom, the doctor said, well, hello. And then she lifted my baby up and he started to cry. Immediately, I'm crying, like, crying and stuff like that. I guess it was just natural. My baby's born. And y'all don't know, when babies are born, that first cry is important because it means their lungs are working. So I heard him crying. I'm happy. My husband's crying. He's happy. But I was just like, is the baby elephant going to sit on my chest again? Because y'all need to warn a sister about that, right? So they did to whatever, wash the baby off, weighed him, all that other kind of stuff. And then they said, Mom, do you want to see your baby? And like, I'm like looking over and I'm like, oh, okay. That's like, he's so handsome. He's so cute. Look at all this hair, whatever. And honestly, y'all, at that point, I was so worn out. When I tell you I was worn out, y'all, I was so worn out. I was just like, it's gonna be what it. I didn't even know what was going on. I'm be honest with y'all. I want to show y'all some of the pictures from that. So as I pull up the pictures, let me know if y'all have any questions. So like, when I say you feel pressure, you do feel that somebody's doing something to you, but you don't feel like you don't the sharp objects, because they got to cut through 3 layers, like your skin. They had to cut through my abs and my uterus. She said my abs, because they were so strong, it took her a little bit longer. So I was just like, oh my God. So I'm going to show y'all some of these pictures of some of the things. Yeah, so they gave me some really, really good stuff. So let me, do y'all want to see some pictures of when we were in the OR room. I want to see. I would be more than happy to show y'all some pictures. So let me try to pull up some pictures here. Let me see. Okay, so what you see here, this is my son. That's Jaden when they pulled him out, right? That's Jaden when they pulled him out. And see over here. I can't make it any bigger, but that's him when they pulled him out. And what's this here? Okay, this is when that's his dad holding him. He looks like a real doctor, right? Not. So that's my husband, that's the baby looking at his dad. And that's me like trying to like look at him, but I really couldn't see him. I kept saying, tilt him down. Y'all know I'm short. Um, Oh, this is funny. I wish this could be a little bit bigger, but this is my son cutting his eye at me. Like, yeah, I heard you talking trash about me, mom. Like, I was kicking you in your ribs and stuff. You just call me little Bigfoot. But that's like the first time him and I made eye contact, me and the baby. Do you have any more this way? That's him looking at me again, like, yeah, mom, you crazy, and all that other kind of stuff. So, those and the beautiful part about that, y'all, was that the hospital, they actually they told my husband to charge his phone, and they took his phone, he unlocked it, and then when we were in the OR, they were snapping all the pictures. So someone on staff was actually snapping the pictures, because when I had KC before, it was like no video, no this, no that. And I think that's wrong, because you take away a lot of the experience. So I thought, isn't that cool? So I thought that was really cool that they let us do that. And so after I had the C-section, they pulled them out, pulled my guts out, and then they like strapped me back, they stitched me back up and all that other kind of stuff. The next thing was for me to go to recovery. And so in recovery, I remember when I had KC years ago, recovery was awful. I was knocked out. Remember, they probably had me on drugs, seriously, some narcotics back then. I knew I was knocked out. I was asleep. I didn't see KC because he had developed an infection. He was in the NICU. So I didn't get a chance to bond with my son or anything. This time around, I did not remember. They didn't give me narcotics, just pain meds. So I was awake. I was in recovery. I was awake. I was with my husband, and the baby, he came right in with me. And after that point, he never left my side the whole time I was in the hospital. So Casey, we call him JoJo. Jaden, we call him JoJo. KC and JoJo. Yes, the singing group, KC and JoJo. Yes, that's what I did. So he was with me the whole time, and the most beautiful feeling was what they call skin to skin. And I remember when Gabrielle Union had her daughter, and it was a picture of Gabrielle in the hospital bed, and she had the baby on her chest, and the Dwayne Wade. Well, a lot of us were like, she's laying up there like she really had a baby, but that's called skin to skin, and it's a form of bonding, and it's very, very important. And so this hospital really believes in skin to skin, and I was excited about skin to skin because remember when I had KC, I felt like I was robbed of that because he had developed an infection and he was in the NICU. And so for like the first 2 days of his life, I was not with KC. That time matters. They're getting used to your scent and all that. So here are some pictures of me and the baby doing some skin to skin. And I mean, that's just like the best feeling in the world. So this is, remember, I'm awake. During recovery, I am awake. I'm not asleep. So this is us. I'm bonding. Yes, I was beat because you remember I had just did a photo shoot a few days before, and they had told me when I came to do my C-section, I shouldn't have makeup on. But I'm like, whatever. I was already beat. So you look, y'all gonna get this beat. But this was the best feeling ever. Him laying on me like that. Oh my gosh. And then here's another angle. You can kind of see the dried tears in the corner of my eye. But that's him looking like, what the heck did I get myself into, right? So that was the skin to skin, y'all. And that's the best feeling in the world is the skin to skin. So that was the best feeling in the world. So remember, I'm awake during recovery, which is amazing. Because before I was doped, I was literally doped up, and I know now because I was on narcotics. I didn't know. So then after we did an hour about that, looking at our vitals and stuff. And my son, it was like he just knew me. Like, hey mom, you're my mommy. I know you. I love you. And it was just amazing. And then we went to the birthing, my room or whatever, and that's where we stayed for 3 days. And this is where the painless C-section comes in at. They kept asking me, do you have any pain? I literally had no pain. They were giving me my meds around the clock, but I had no pain. Now, I couldn't like stand up and walk to go to the bathroom on my own. Like that first Friday, I couldn't do it. And it makes you appreciate your body. Like for you to be able to stand up, do you know all the muscles you need to use? And so I remember the nurse had to help me to the bathroom like maybe the first two times. The third time I was like, all right, I think I can make it on my own. Because in order for me and the baby to go home, at least for me to go home, I had to urinate twice. Yes, I had to urinate twice. And I had to pass gas. Don't laugh. I had to pass gas. Y'all think that's funny? Like, oh, you got to fart? I was like, I got to fart. They were like, yeah, you got to fart. The reason why is because your body, your systems need to get back into place. And it's crazy. At certain times I felt my body bubbling up like I was had to pass gas, but nothing happened. I was like, oh man. So Friday, nothing happened. Saturday, I was able to pass gas. So those are things like, did you urinate twice? Did you pass gas? They gave me stool softeners. They're like, we're not expecting you to move your bowels, but eventually I actually moved my bowels while I was at the hospital. So on Friday, they had to help me into the bathroom and all that. And when you go through labor and stuff, y'all, you lose all your dignity. You lose all your inhibitions. You don't care who see your stuff. You don't care what the heck is hanging out. It's funny when you don't care about none of that stuff. You like, look, I need you gotta help me. So on Saturday, I just woke up like I'm going to walk to this bathroom and I'm going to do what I need to do. I walked slowly, but I walked to the bathroom. Then I was like, all right, I'm going to walk to the other side of the room. Then I'm going to walk to the other side. And like my body, moving my body, it was like, remember, I just had major surgery. So I'm moving my body and I was walking slowly because that's what my body had to do. But I was not in pain. Like I've been through a C-section where it was hell, it was pain. I was not in pain. I was just I had to respond to my body or whatever, right? And so Saturday I just kept walking and I kept making myself walking slowly. I wasn't overdoing it, but I was making myself walk. I said, I cannot lay in this bed all day. Like it was just driving me nuts. I just couldn't do it. And then so certain things like with my son being in the crib, I couldn't pick him up out of the crib because of my the surgery or whatever. But I started walking to they call the nourishment corner. I would get the ice chips. I would do all of that stuff because I was just like, I want to walk. I don't want to be in pain. And this is the life lesson I got out of this. A lot of times we avoid pain, whether it's heartbreak, heartache, abandonment, whatever your issue is, physical pain. We want to avoid the pain. And what we do is we want to self-medicate. We want to do sometimes you just got to walk right up. You just got to take that pain head on. Take that discomfort head on. You're stronger than what you think. You might, like I said, I was walking slowly, but I did it. So I walked to the nourishment corner to get like the water and all that stuff. And my nurse was like, oh my God, you're up. I'm like, yeah, honey, if it's up, then it's up, then it's up, then it's stuck. Okay. It's a diva in your presence. Okay. Y'all, I still had the lashes. I had my hair. They were looking at me like, you don't even look like you had a baby. I'm like, well, honey, I did because you was there. But I just didn't want to be in the bed. Like, not saying I didn't want to rush. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is I didn't want the pain to overtake my body. Because the longer you sit, the more painful it'll be. So they were like, oh, you're actually up and walking. I'm like, I'm walking because look, I got I don't want to, I just didn't want that. And so let me back up too. Another reason why I was not in pain. Reason why I'm not in pain is because my diet. Now, those of you who don't know, during my pregnancy, I developed gestational diabetes. I never had it before, but during my pregnancy, my sugar levels were elevated. And that's a problem because my son's levels would be elevated. So for 24 hours, they tested me and Jaden. And so they would prick him, take his blood. They would prick me before I took my blood to read. And we did well. Both of our sugar levels were really, really good. And my diet, as a result, they had me eating like a diabetic. that served me well. And this is how we get into the the fast snapback, right? Is because while I was in the hospital, remember I had to pass gas, right? My husband was like, "Oh, you want a ginger ale? I want a ginger ale," right? And they said, "Miss Brose, you better not do it. Nothing carbonated." She was like, "Because you're going to have trouble passing gas naturally from the surgery." They said you're going to have trouble anyway, and if you add carbonated drinks on top of that, you're going to have some wicked gas, and you're really going to hurt yourself. I said, "I'm gonna listen to the doctor. Just give me some water." I did a little bit of juice, diluted it with water. And remember, my diet, they fed me like a diabetic, so I dropped the menu one day, and I said, "Oh, it has a second side. That food looks so good," but they were like, if you're a diabetic, they're not going to give it to you. So that's why I had the bland side. But that complication helped me and is helping me. That's why a lot of women who are like, well, when I had my C-section, I couldn't move around for 2 months. I couldn't do this. I couldn't do that. Well, what was like a setback actually set me up. So the thing is, if you ever have a C-section, or if you ever have any kind of surgery, y'all, you want to eat like a diabetic. What does that mean? Stay away from them sodas. Well, I know, and stay away from them. Stay away from the fried foods, because your body, you need to be gentle on your body. So while women like pigging out, eating them cheese fries and sodas and stuff, because when you deliver, you be like, yes, we did it. Like, we did it, Joe. We did it. I didn't do that because I was considered diabetic then. And so, but that helped me. So I drank so much water, and those ice chips from the hospital, I don't know what they put in them, but they were so good. So I disciplined myself. I drank all the water. If I had juice, I diluted it. And then my food was like diabetic type food. But because of that, the part for you to heal is nutrition. People don't realize that to heal, you need good nutrition, and then movements. I didn't even know this until I met with the nurse today. She was like, "Yeah, Shalene, if you want to heal, you got to move." Isn't that another life lesson? If you want to heal, you got to move. And remember, I wasn't sprinting. I wasn't fast walking, but I was moving in a direction I wanted to go in. If you're suffering from heartache, if you're suffering from heartbreak, if you're suffering from a failure, movement is what will bring about your healing. You can't stay in that place where you're at. You need to move. You need to move mentally. You need to move physically. You don't have to be like Flojo, you quick, you moving on all fast, but you need to start moving in the direction you want to go in. Remember, I said, I'm not laying up in this bed. I just didn't want that for myself. I'm like, I got my husband, he literally got eye surgery on Monday. So the day I get discharged on Sunday, he has to go in and get major eye surgery on Monday. So like I had time to be laying up like all whatever. And so my nutrition helped me to bounce back. And then me just having a desire to want to move. If you want to stop, if you want the pain to go away, you really start moving in the direction you want to go in, wherever it is, right? And then another thing too, y'all, your story is not everybody else's story. So many people like, Shalena, why are you dancing? You better take it easy. You sit like look, wait. You don't know my story. You don't know me. You don't know what I'm doing. And this is a part of me being happy. Like, I was very much in tune with my emotions. Sometimes I just broke out crying. I was so happy. Then I was like a little sad. I was missing my stepmom. Then I just couldn't believe that I was carrying his baby inside of me. He's so beautiful. I let myself feel all that stuff because it's a part of my healing process, right? I was fully engaged in my healing process. So Sunday came and JoJo and we passed our test with flying colors and we were out of there. And I drove myself home. Remember I told you my husband that was having surgery, he couldn't drive me. Yes, I drove myself home from the hospital after having a C-section. Yes, I did. And I stopped at Target before we got home because I needed to pick something up, like something for the baby. Yes, I did. Some people would say, "Oh, is you doing too much?" But when you have to do what you got to do, what you gonna do? Like I said, I wasn't sprinting. I wasn't shooting videos in Target when I went. But I did what I had to do. And sometimes you don't know your own strength and how strong you really are. And so that's that. And since then, you guys, I just been sticking back to like eating like a diabetic. So the diabetes is over for me. Jaden doesn't have it at all. And I'm just drinking my water, y'all, and I feel amazing. I don't even feel like I had a baby. Like, I know I feel it in my body, but the way I look and I'm happy and all that, you really can't tell. It's because of the choices I made and the things that I'm doing. And like I said, the main thing, my hospital was proactive with pain. And I wanted to share that with y'all, because sometimes we got to be proactive with pain. Is like, you know, some of the things we go through, they're going to hurt. Even good things. Even if you're trying to build a business, write a book, you're trying to build a relationship, get a house, you're going to encounter stuff that's going to be painful and not always feel good. It comes with the territory. There's no way I'm going to have a baby and expect not to have pain. Now, why didn't I have pain? Because my team was proactive about, they already knew I was going to be in pain. They said, so why don't we start her on this regimen before she gets the surgery? And they kept it up like clockwork. And so I take my pain, I take the pain meds, right? That's why I'm not in pain. That's why I'm able to walk around. I'm able to do things. And then my nutrition, I'm feeling good. I'm eating foods that are giving me energy, right? I'm staying away from a lot of that stuff that's going to hurt me. And today I ate something fried this morning and I felt it. I said, oh, okay, we definitely ain't doing it, because I felt it in my body. And so I am just like so happy. I'm really happy. My baby is beautiful. My family, I just thank God for my family. I'm getting to know the baby. So last night he had a good night, meaning he slept he slept through the night for a while. I was really happy about that. He's growing. And 1 week ago, y'all, literally 1 week ago, I had the baby. And it's just amazing. And I'm always going to share my story with you all, because, like I said, I am 42 years old. And I had a baby at 42. Society tells me I'm too old. They might tell you you're too old for some things you want to do. But like I said, if you can do it, then do it. Don't let society dictate what you can and you can't do based upon how old you are. Okay, you guys, just don't let them do it. Do not let them do it. So y'all, I'm going to hop off of here, and I don't know what happened to my comments. I'm gonna try to see if I can see some of the comments. But if anybody has any questions for me, let me know. Let me know if you have any questions for me. I will be more than happy to answer some of those questions if you have any. Before I hop off of here, and then I'm gonna go feed my baby. Actually, I'm gonna get him ready for bed. So all right, I don't think I have any questions. All right, you guys. So thank you all so much for tuning in, and just expect to see me doing more videos of me just being happy. Like, if you see me dancing, like, yeah, that girl happy. Let me be happy. Like, I'm not doing anything crazy. Oh, real quick. I guess I can do another video, because I'm getting tired, where I give you some of the tips about just how I'm dealing with the aftermath of the C-section, so that I remain I'm not in a lot of pain. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. And like I said, I'm on maternity leave, but I'll probably still be going live about different things, because it's in my blood. I got to do it. But I'm super excited. So I can't wait to get back to my company. Can't wait to get back to my clients and all that stuff in a few weeks. And I'll be here before you know it. But I just wanted to share that with you all, because a lot of people had stuff to say about my video yesterday. Like, well, how are you doing it? And that's how. Nutrition, and we manage the pain. Like, we manage the pain, nutrition, a lot of water, stay away from those sodas and stuff, stay away from them fried stuff, eat like a diabetic. I'm telling you, you will speed up your recovery. And there are things we're going to go through in life. It's going to be painful no matter what. So you need to be proactive with the pain and anticipate the pain. Okay, you guys, and come up with a plan to deal with the pain, because it's going to be there, right? All right, y'all. I love y'all so much. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to my story. And I thank God for a safe delivery, a healthy, beautiful baby boy. Thank God for my amazing husband, who's my partner, who's helping me. Thank God for my son, Casey, who is so excited about his little brother. Okay, you guys, I'll talk to you all soon, and I'll see you on the other side. Bye-bye.